We made it. Can you hear me? Is the sound good? Can you see everything? The stream health says good. It is green. We should be good to go. I by this point you feel like, oh wait, actually I just realized I still have these headphones on. I was listening to the audio, making sure that the levels are good and making sure that my microphone is good. But I'm not going to be wearing these. So yeah, that feels way more natural. I don't like having those headphones on because then I can hear myself speak in real time. So not only can I hear my voice, but I also hear it in the headphones. It's weird. I don't like that feeling. Fun fact, Austin, before a show one time, whenever we were hanging out backstage, he let me, well, kind of let me listen to his in-ears. Like, he didn't, like, shove them all the way into my ear, because, you know. But he let me get a kind of like a glimpse, I guess. He kind of put it up to me so that I could hear what it sounds like. And it's so bizarre. When they're checking, like, when they're checking the mic, they're like, check, check, hello, hello, 1, 2. And it's right inside your ears. Like, imagine plugging your ears all the way and then talking and you can hear your voice inside of your head. It's so bizarre. I don't like it. Much like most people, I don't like the way that my voice sounds. When I hear it, I'm just like, God, like that's what people listen to. That's the voice that they have to hear whenever they're listening to me talk. Which is so bizarre. I feel like everyone hates the way that their own voice sounds, but you guys leave such positive feedback, and y'all have such nice things to say about listening to me talk. So I appreciate that. It makes me feel a little bit better about talking, and that's a good thing because I am here to vent. I'm here to rant. I'm here to talk about a couple of things that's been on my mind lately, so that's going to be a lot of talking on my end. For the most part, these live streams are a lot of talking on my end anyway, but this time in particular, I'm going to talk about some specific things. That's funny. I got some one of the comments confused. I thought someone was saying that my voice was horrendous, and I was like, "Oh, thank you, thank you for agreeing with me." I don't know if I should thank you for agreeing with me or to block you for making me feel insecure while I'm on a live stream, but they were saying that their voice is horrendous, which it most likely isn't. It's literally just you thinking that your voice is bad. But anyway, about the venting, about the ranting, everything looks good. We look like we're good to go. I say this every time. I would like for this to be a shorter live stream. Um, but we'll see how it works out. Let's see. Making sure everyone's good. We are all here. The chat looks good. Oh God. Never mind. As soon as I said the chat looks good, I saw something that was very not good. But it's okay. I'll get over it. Okay. So I want to take maybe like 10, 15 minutes to talk about the iHeart Music Awards category for like favorite tour photographer. Um and then after that, I'm going to talk about some other things that I've been seeing online on Twitter and on other places as far as like people just generally being negative towards like the photography community, whether that's people who are observing the community or people who are in it and just kind of like, I don't know, being petty and being pretty lame towards one another. I don't know. I don't like to focus on the negativity, but it's been on my mind lately, and I felt like it was a little bit too much to just tweet all of it. It was too much to do one of those 16 story spams on Instagram where I'm like, let me talk to you guys a little bit about something, and then you just have to like keep pressing through to get through those stories. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. But I figured to get this off of my chest, I could do it this way. I could actually like talk to you guys a little bit more face to face or whichever. Um, yeah, exactly. A lot of people are with me on the whole like being negative isn't great, but you'd be surprised at how. Actually, you wouldn't be surprised. You wouldn't be surprised at all to hear that people are lame and petty and just they're not awesome to one another. But starting with the iHeartRadio category, as you may be as you may be aware, you're probably already aware that the iHeart Music Awards introduced a new category. At least to me, it seems new because I've never seen it before, I've never heard about it before, and everyone was treating it like something new. So I'm just going to go out on a limb and say that it's a new category that they introduced for music photographers, touring photographers, which is super awesome. That's super cool. I've never really heard of anything in that regard, like on that scale. So when I saw it, I assumed that it had to have been new. Otherwise, I feel like that's something I would have heard about before. But either way, the reception to that introduction was, for the most part, pretty good. Like, most people were really psyched about it, and I know a lot of different photographers that I've toured with, a lot of photographers that I look up to, a lot of other photographers that I know, all had pretty general, like, good things to say about it, and rightfully so. The fact that this category is now a thing really kind of, I don't know, it kind of helps push, like, it pushes this kind of community and this whole industry in, like, the right direction. It gives it a nice little celebratory nod towards the creators who are, behind the scenes, the people who create content for you guys, so that you can be a little bit more up close and personal to your favorite artists, to your favorite bands, and things of that sort. And it kind of shines a light on them, like, hey, here are some people who do that professionally for a living, and these are people who've made an impact on that community. So let's celebrate them. That's super cool. And I know a lot of you guys tagged me in that post, being like, hey, what about John? Which was funny. That was really cool to see. I appreciate all the support, but I mean, by no means am I literally like anywhere near that level or that like stature or even tenure or anything like that towards some of those creators that were listed. There's just they're just leagues ahead, and that's okay, and it's awesome, and it's kind of like, it kind of puts it in perspective, like that's something that I can work towards now. If they continue on with this category, then that can be in the back of my mind, like, hey, long-term, short, long-term goal, I'd like to get to that position to be nominated. That would be super cool. But I have a long way to go, and I have steps that I'm trying to take in order to put myself in a better position to be in that class. Which I feel most people should do. They should find, their where they are in their skill set and continue to grow and want to learn. And anyway, so that's something really cool. That's my general takeaway from the announcement, or the introduction to that category. But some things that I saw online weren't as awesome as that. Some of the things included other photographers either being, I guess, not salty, maybe a little salty, maybe a little petty, being like, oh, well, some of those photographers only made it because of the people who they're photographing. And I saw a couple other people kind of chime in on that, being like, yeah, I feel like these nominations were really just more so about who is being shot versus the person who's doing the shooting, like the photographing. And I was surprised because I saw it and I was just like, no, that's okay, it plays a role, it definitely does, and I'll get to that here in a second, but it's just like, that's not really a great way of looking at something that should be a really cool thing. And I kind of scrolled past it, but then I saw more of it, and then I started, lurking and kind of looking at what people are saying in response to these things, and I saw a lot of people agreeing with that sentiment where, it's like, oh, no one knows who these photographers are, or, like, this person's good, but there's a lot of other people who are equally good or even better, and they weren't nominated because they don't photograph for, Beyonce or Shawn Mendes or anything like that. And to be fair, it's an award show. It's made by this company that is, trying to, push a very big mainstream commercial audience. It's going to play a role, what artists are being introduced, because those artists have a really big impact in that industry and in that scene. So I'm not surprised that they're going to pick, people like 5 Seconds of Summer and Shawn Mendes, Beyonce, and some of the other ones too that I have to go back and look. But yeah, I don't know why people were like taken aback by it. Especially, like I said, when this is something that's like, well, the fact that they're even putting tour photographers and photographers in general into this whole presentation, into this whole show, that is already a step in an awesome direction. That is super cool. It's very validating, and it's kind of like motivating. Like I said earlier, to be like, man, that's cool. This whole industry and this whole community has been taken seriously, like in the past, at least from what I've seen in my small bubble that I pretty much keep myself in. But seeing it kind of stretch and kind of peek into that mainstream is really awesome. It is really motivating. But yeah, just seeing those people being like, I know so many other photographers, or there's so many other photographers that should have been on this list, or people being like, that's cool, but what about this person and this person and this person? And fact of the matter is, they can only have so many spots. What do they have? Like, what was it, like 5 nominations, maybe 6? I don't know, but you can only have X amount of people. So of course not everyone's going to be included, but it's much like anything else. It's much like the Grammys, the Oscars, this, that, this award show, that award show. It's like there's so many people, so there's so many good contenders, but there's only a handful, like a hand-selected few that are actually going to make it. So I don't know why people were complaining that their favorite person wasn't included, but instead should focus on the people who were included, like Josiah and Andy. Like, that is super cool. Andy is he's got such a particular style and such a creative, persona. I don't know if that makes sense, but the way that, he edits his work, and the way that, that it translates into like 5 Sauce and some of the other stuff that he does with some of his other bands. What is it called? Blame Candy, I believe. Like his whole vintage retro stylistic look is so cool. And of course, what he's done for 5 Seconds of Summer is going to be recognized and be like, hey, he's up for this nomination because he's had an impact, and people respond well to it, and he's helped bridge that gap between artist and audience. Let's celebrate that. That is super cool. And to say just stuff like, oh, he's only nominated because he's shooting 5 Sauce, that's so lame. That's not righteous at all. He's super good at what he does. So, let's celebrate that. And the same goes to all the other nominations. Really, Josiah and Andy were the only ones that I actually was aware of. But what's cool is that those other photographers that were listed, I didn't know who they were, but now I do. And now I can go and look at their body of work and potentially get inspired that way. But either way, like I said, it's really a celebration of what people like me do. To kind of give you a peek behind the curtain, a little extra insight that you otherwise wouldn't get outside of like meet and greets or music videos or live shows or interviews online. It's like, hey, this is their day-to-day stuff, and we're gonna share that. So yeah, I had to get that out there. I just thought it was lame that people were just being like, they're just like, it's just because of who they're shooting, not who's doing it. I don't know. It was lame. Had to get that out there. And then the second thing that I was going to bring up is it includes the whole negativity towards the new category, but it's in a more general sense towards like the photo community, the photog community. But before I move forward, I'm going to check the chat and see where we're at. Thanks, guys. Hey, someone. Wait a second. God, that's so bizarre. Like, I see an Austin Knight saying, "I love your hair /setup." And the thing is, it says Austin Knight. It's not Austin_Knight, Austin Knight 1 or anything, Austin Knight's hair or anything like that. So I'm like, oh, is Austin in here? But I'm like, of course he's not. It's his birthday. I'll give him a pass. But he's also complimenting my setup and my hair. So I was like, that's not Austin. If it was Austin, he wouldn't actually compliment my setup. More so, he'd probably roast the fuck out of me for having these string lights and having this whole setup. Are those lights cool? Are they too Tumblr? Are they too Tumblr-y? Rest in peace, Tumblr. Is it too like white girl Tumblr aesthetic or whatnot? I don't know. I like to change my lighting in my room. I like to have movie nights. I have a TV right over here, and so I like to add different elements to kind of set the mood. But anyway, I appreciate the compliment, Austin Knight. It looks like Skylar's in here. I hope that's the real Skylar. He says that he's the lamp. Thank you. I guess. Wait, which lamp? I like this one a lot more than that one. I used to like that one, but I'm gonna replace it soon, hopefully. Let's see. Okay, I'm getting distracted. Hold on. Sorry for spooking you. It's okay. It's okay. I'll talk to Austin later, and I'll get my fill. Let's see. Yeah, but if that's a real Skylar, what's up, man? Thank you for coming and hanging out while I ramble and vent and rant and all of those things. But yeah, anyway, I got distracted by not Austin, and so yeah, moving forward, I'm glad you like the setup. I'm gonna keep experimenting and keep doing different looks each time I do this. But anyway, so going on to another thing in that negative realm, which sucks because I don't want to even talk about negativity and really give it any more light, because I try and stay away from it as much as I possibly can. Everyone that I see on Twitter is like, oh, I hate drama, and, I don't like partaking in drama, and I try and cut out toxic things and people and whatever. But those are the same people that thrive on drama and thrive off of toxic, things, and it's very frustrating. I'm not going to get into that rant today, at least, but I will say this. I don't like feeding into drama. I don't like partaking into drama. I understand that people are interested in it. That's like the whole point, and it's entertaining. Like, whenever there's drama, I personally also am like, I don't approve, but I want to know more. What's the deal? Why are people upset? Or why is this thing happening with that person, or whatever, So I get that. But in terms of just drama and like negativity anyway, like, I don't like spreading that. I really try and be as positive as I can online and with you guys, because positivity goes a long way. And I always feel good whenever I see positive things and I hear positive things and things are just good. Then it makes me feel good, and then my day is good, and then everyone that I interact with has a good interaction, so on and so forth. So, moving forward, so there was this thing that I saw recently on Twitter that you may have seen. It was by a very popular photographer, not a concert photographer, not a tour photographer, just a popular photographer in general. He mainly does portraiture work. He does a lot of work with like fairy lights and a lot of really cool tones and a lot of really cool like different like neon setups or this setups or whatever. He's got a very specific look, and he's super good. Like I really like what he does, and he has his own look basically like down to a T. And he posted a thing recently where he was like doing a before and after, which is something that he does every single day. Well, not every single day, but he does it so often that it feels like it's every day, where he does a before and after. And it was just like, it was showcasing what white balance he shot in versus what white balance he was able to edit in. And it was a very harmless, a very cool, just like little update. Like, hey guys, I know you follow me for my photography content. Here's a little shoot that I did recently. Boom. Something that is, very off color, something that, doesn't look very presentable. And here, I cleaned it up. I touched it up. I was able to change the tones to make it look presentable. And yeah, here you go, for your own doing or whatever. And I saw this person get not backlash for it, because that's not the right term at all. But I saw people poking at it and trying to dissect it, and people, basically being like, wow. So all you did was hit, the white balance feature in Lightroom, and then you changed it, and then big whoop. Someone even commented saying like, "Oh, is this kind of content really worth 92,000 likes on it?" Which I guess at the point that's how much interaction it had or whatever. 92,000 favorites. Is it really worth that? Like, it's something so simple. Some people were being salty that, it's like, "Hey, this isn't a big thing." It's not really that hard to change white balance after you take the photo. But people were like, realistically, you should have adjusted your white balance on location, or you should have fixed that in camera, or you should have had better lighting, or this or that or this or that. Just nitpicking, And again, that kind of struck a chord with me because I was like, man, this person is literally doing a positive thing, not hurting anyone, just being like, hey, check this out. Check out this really cool before and after. People like seeing before and afters. I'm a photographer. I'm going to share that kind of content. And then people are like, is this really worth that? Whatever. And I saw this person, and then I saw other people joining in on it again, because this is what I do. I see it, and then I'm like, why do other people look at this stuff? What do they think whenever they see these kinds of comments? So I go and I look, and a lot of people were actually on that same side, being like, yeah, this person is overrated, or this person, is whatever. All their stuff looks the same, or, whatever the case is. And I was, again, surprised, but I shouldn't be surprised that people, were going at it and had something negative and had something, spiteful to say. It's unfortunate. It sucks. But I did see a good amount of people also defending the person. Not that they even needed any sort of... Oh, wait, hold on. Not that they even needed any sort of defense. Like, they're good at what they do. They've made a name for themselves. This is what they do for a living. But I did see people chiming in being like, hey, like, it's not that deep. It's just simple. All he was doing was just showing a really cool, simple edit. And then people are like responding to that defense being like, look, this is what's wrong with the photography community. This is wrong with photogs in general. Y'all can't even take any sort of criticism without getting all butthurt, without getting all, up in arms, being like, oh, whatever the case may be. Basically responding to the defense saying like, hey, literally, like, you should be able to take criticism. This person should be able to take criticism or whatever. But the fact of the matter was, they weren't being constructive with their criticism. And that's a key thing. That makes a huge difference. Whenever you're just being like, is this post really worth 92,000 likes? As opposed to being like, hey, like, this is cool. Thank you for sharing. If I'm gonna criticize anything, I should be constructive and be like, by the way, did you know that you could, do this for your lighting? Or here's a little hack or a tip on this. Whatever the case may be. This person doesn't need help, hints, tips, tricks, or whatever. I mean, I'm sure they may appreciate it, but they already know what they're doing. But that's my point, is that the criticism wasn't constructive. It was just people being just salty. And then people were then going at each other for defending each, side or whatever, being like, no, it's just photographers are just so jealous nowadays, like this person has, a huge following. They've made a name for themselves. They've really branded themselves and, so on and so forth. Sorry that you only get like 100 likes on this or whatever, which is it's just such a BS argument, because that obviously doesn't determine how good of a creator someone is based on how much interaction that they get or how much engagement they get or anything like that. I've seen some crazy good artists, whether it's painters or photographers or musicians or whatever, put out really great work, but they don't have the same kind of engagement that other people do that have a little bit of a bigger platform, And it's discouraging for those people, but in this instance, the people that were being criticized, like, oh, you only get, 50 likes on a photo of this, or, your crappy, underexposed, grainy stuff or whatever, doesn't get as much love as this person. You're just salty. And all that does is just spread more negativity, which is unfortunate. But again, that's not what it's about. Again, this person, though, was the one who originally started the claim, being like, this post isn't worth 92,000. I saw people, going at it, one another, people being like, this is why I hate the photography community. There was also another thing that I saw, which I should have pulled this up before I started, but it's not really that worth, like, investigating or going back. But there was a well-known band. Who was it? it was a heavier band where I think there was like a Kerrang article. There was some sort of article, and they were responding. This like band member was responding to that article or to that post, basically criticizing photographers who basically use like photography as just a means of not paying for tickets to go see their show live. And again, I saw that, and I saw that it got a lot of interaction. It got a lot of attention. And my natural state of mind after seeing all this negativity, I was just like, oh no, like, are people jumping on this bandwagon? This is not it. Like, this sucks. You know, people just what is it? Not minimalizing. What is it? Basically belittling the whole point of, you know, concert photographers and music photographers just by saying like, oh, you're only there to get in with free tickets. You're only, which by the way, a lot of photographers starting out who want press passes still have to buy their tickets. So first of all, let's, you know, get that myth, you know, taken care of. Some photographers do get tickets with their press passes, but that's not always the case. But point being is that this band member was just, you know, being lame and just saying stuff about like, you know, this photographer in this article, whatever the case may be. And yeah, it's not worth going into condescending. Yeah, that's a good word. That's what I was thinking of. It's not worth investigating and seeing who it was. But point being, I saw all these things, and again, I really wanted to say something. I really wanted to just kind of like chime in on whether it was the people being negative towards that before and after post, or if it was people being negative towards music photographers getting into like shows for free or whatever, which a lot of people defended like music photographers in that thread. After reading through it, a lot of people are like, hey, like, that's not cool. Literally, this person's profile photo was a live photo of him performing on stage, so it was just like, where do you think that came from? So that was okay. So I felt like it wasn't really necessary to like say anything, but also, again, I don't like drama. I don't like meddling and getting into things and just, you know, putting stuff out there. So I see that, and I do my best to just like acknowledge it so that I can be aware to not act and be that way. And then I just move on, and so on, so forth, you know, live and let live. But I wanted to do a live stream. It's been a while, and I wanted to talk about something that I felt was a little bit meaningful, and I felt like that was something that I guess was worth going over. Just again, to just remind people to just try your best. Try your best to, you know, maintain that positivity. It sucks to see people, you know, take good things like the iHeart Music Awards category, or take good things like a photographer sharing a before and after photo so that people can learn from it. People can see what you can do with photo editing, and just, you know, first of all, don't contribute to people being petty and nasty online, but also, you know, learn to just kind of like not let it get to you too much. It touched a sore spot for me specifically because obviously as a photographer, but anyway, wanted to go over those things. That was my little rant / vent / ramble / whatever. But yeah, I felt like I was just spitting words. It was like word vomit. So I gotta try and catch up and see what else I've missed out on. Let me check the chat, see how you guys are doing, and yeah. Okay, cool. We're going into workshop stuff, rants, yep, cool. People are arguing over MySpace, which is funny. Let's see. Courtney Ross left us. It's okay. We don't need them anyway. Let's see. Yeah, okay. People are mostly understanding that being positive is a good thing. But anyway, what else am I looking for? Hannah says, congrats on being 2 years smoke-free. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. And also, thanks for everyone who showed support on that post of mine where I shared that I have been smoke-free for the last 2 years, which is crazy. It really sneaks up on you whenever you're just not thinking about it. So appreciate all the support. I was very surprised by the interaction that I got from that post, but then again, it seemed like that's something that a lot of people are familiar with. People can either relate or people know of friends and family that also like try to stop or try to quit smoking and things of that sort. So yeah, it's not easy to do, but it is doable, and I appreciate all that support for that. So thank you very much. Anna says, Maluma, thank you. Let's see. Let's see. Ooh, someone wants to know any creepy stories from the Stanley Hotel, which I do have a couple. I want to go over a couple other stuff, and then maybe we could talk about the Stanley here in a second. But let's see. Sydney says, thank you for retweeting my really bad TikTok meme. If that means that you're the person, if you're the person that did that TikTok thing, where you set up the whole thing and then you the music drops and then it's a photo of me or whatever, that was so good. Like literally, you have the exact same hair that I did when I took that that really ridiculous photo. So that was really good. Thank you very much. Let's see. Charlotte is procrastinating studying for their math exam. That's okay, because I'm also procrastinating doing extra work on my workshop for this Saturday. So that's okay. We're both procrastinating. Let's see. Choosing the winner for the concert photography class. I'll talk about the concert photography class here in a second, because there are some updates to that. Janice is in Walmart right now. I guess you can look at YouTube Live on your phone. I don't know why that kind of skipped my mind for a little bit. Thanks for liking my tantrum of cover. Thank you for liking my cover of Tantrum, says Delaney. That name looks very familiar. So I think I know who you are, what you're referring to. I think I've seen your covers before. They're really good. Yeah. Let's see. All right, cool. Not too many questions, but there are a couple things that people want me to talk about. Like the Stanley Hotel, which was really fun. So if you're not aware, Daphne and I went to Colorado recently just to kind of get away, which was really nice. I was very lucky that we were able to steal about 5 days away from home just to kind of get out of state, go and just kind of see some sights, go and do some fun activities. We did a lot of stuff. We hiked some mountains. We went snowmobiling, which was really cool. We went to the Stanley Hotel, which was awesome. We did a lot of things. We went to a couple of different really cool landmarks in Colorado, like the Royal Gorge Bridge, things like that. Went into Denver, just kind of roamed around. It was cool. It was really nice. The Stanley Hotel, I actually just released a Q&A video, first video of the year. And it was filmed at the Stanley Hotel, which was super cool. That place was really, really bizarre. I will put this out there. We didn't have any sort of crazy paranormal events, any sort of activity that is really worth mentioning, but there were a lot of little things that happened throughout the night that was just a little strange. I can go into more in depth if you'd like, but let's see. But either way, so that Q&A was really cool. If you stayed for till the very end and you watched the whole duration of it, then you would have seen that I had some really cool footage of the inside of the hotel in the hallways, footage of room 217, which is the most haunted room in the hotel. That room has a lot of significance. If you saw the Q&A, you'll know what I'm talking about. But I'm also working on another video, which is kind of more of just a general. I would say, it's mainly kind of like a vlog, but also just kind of a little home movie that I really like making, of just our time there and just us, doing fun stuff. It's fun to make those things, especially when you're not on tour and you go and do this stuff. I don't know. It's fun. And in that video, I will show a little bit more of what we did at the Stanley Hotel, including showing all the different places that that are remarkable or that are notable, like different places where like the movie Dumb and Dumber filmed at. What else? We did the ghost tour, which was really cool. I got some footage of that, and yeah, just those things in general. So we'll see how much of that I include in the video. I'm still working on it. It's probably gonna be a pretty long video, considering we were there for 5 days and we did a lot of different activities. But I don't know. I feel like the feedback has been pretty mixed on people who either like short and to the point videos, like 5-6 minutes. Some people like medium length videos, like 10-12 minutes. Some people really like long videos, which is surprising. I always feel like if I release a long video, then people are gonna be like, this is too much. I can spend my time better elsewhere, which is fair. But I don't know if I'm going to do like another 28-minute long video. I just did that for the Q&A because I wanted to answer as many questions as possible. But the next one, I don't know. I might condense it to just try and get a lot in a short amount of time. See, I have a lot of people saying long videos. Again, that's surprising to me. I don't have anything against it. It's just it's surprising that people really like longer videos. Someone says cut it up into multiple videos. I was thinking about that, but mainly because I have a lot of other projects and things that I'm trying to put together and other work that I'm doing behind the scenes. I'd rather just kind of put it all into one project so I can upload it, do all that stuff, then kind of put it into multiple different videos. But anyway, see, Emo says that they have no attention span, which is where I'm at with things too. So I get it. I get why you'd want shorter videos than long. But anyway, yeah, there was just a lot of really, really weird things that happened at the Stanley. I'm not going to get too into detail about where I personally stand when it comes to like paranormal things and like otherworldly entities and things of that nature. Because I have another live stream that I'm going to dedicate to that topic specifically at some point, whenever I can actually make it happen. There's a couple things I'm trying to put together for that one. But besides that, I mean, yeah, there's just a lot of really weird things, different like voices and different things that, you know, that Daphne and I would hear like through the walls, which is like, well, it could be just like other people, but different, I guess, like, nothing super crazy, but it was just a lot of very weird energy and a lot of really weird and very strange, like feelings and vibes and things that you would be kind of like overwhelmed with whenever you would step into a particular area or part of the room or things of that sort. Fun fact, we stayed in room 219, which is actually adjacent to room 217, and that room actually, they all used to be the same room at one point and another. The room that we stayed in was involved with a very intense explosion like over 100 years ago, where there was a lot of damage, a lot of things happened there, and it kind of sparked a lot of like paranormal things in that general room. So it was very strange. One thing that did stick out, again, not a whole lot happened, but it was still beautiful there, you know, overall. But one thing that did happen that someone actually warned us about was our batteries being drained, like almost instantaneously. I'll tell you a little bit more. I'll tell you more specifically what I mean. So I was going around, I was taking, wait, why are people, I'll drop you without me. Are you doing your paranormal stream without me? Is that actually Austin? Can someone verify who this is? Can someone go in and make sure that it's actually him? I don't know if I can click on these. Does it work? Do I click on these names? I'm going to treat this... Hold on, there's multiple Austins in here now. I'll drop you. Hey. Without me. I'm going to treat this... He's not even looking at me. I'm going to treat this as if that's actually Austin in the chat, and I'll address you as such. Hey, I'm literally explaining that I can't do my paranormal live stream yet because you aren't here. I'm waiting when I'm ready. I have everything set up and everything that I need to make it happen. I just need you here so that we can go into depth about it. There was a lot involved. It's going to take the entire hour, if not more, to really talk about it. But yeah, I was literally telling people that I'm not doing that live stream because I can't yet. Oh no, yeah, it's you. It's actually Austin. Only he would know that name. But okay. Someone says he left. All right. Well, Austin, if you're still there, happy birthday, buddy. I'll talk to you in a little bit. I'll probably call you after this. But red silk fabric. Oh God. Just hearing that just makes me feel so bad. The red silk in the doorway. That's oh God. Like anytime I just hear that, like my hands get all like numb. It's so like my hands are tingling right now. Like it's kind of like I can feel it in my arm, and that's so weird because I haven't. I can't get into this right now. Bye, Austin. I'll talk to you later. I can't even get into that right now. But anyway, back to the Stanley Hotel. I can't get derailed. Back to the Stanley Hotel. I was taking photos with Daphne, and I was taking different videos of the hallways, the outside area, the different like tour attractions and all that stuff. And I had someone who was a part of like the tour, like the ghost tour, a part of like the tour workshop or whatever. They actually came up to me and they told me, and they told us that most times when people are here, they usually will experience some weird phenomenon where their batteries just drain instantaneously. Like you could, let's see, that's Daphne. You could have a full battery on your phone or in your camera or whatever, or your laptop or whatever, but people experience this thing where literally in the matter of like minutes or sometimes seconds that their battery will just be completely drained. So he's like, so be careful of that. Make sure that all your batteries are charged and have some backups because that happens sometimes, which is really weird. I can't even begin to talk about what the science must be behind that. But I was like, okay, cool. Thanks for the heads up. He saw that I have cameras. He saw that, we were on our phones and all that stuff. He's like, oh, just so you know, your camera might die while you're doing this, even if you have a fully charged battery. It's like, okay, I thought nothing of it. It's no big deal. And yeah, we went through the whole night. We took some pictures in the halls, and we took, some like pictures in like the basement area where there's supposed to be a lot of activity. And I made the Q&A video. I had no real issues with my batteries being drained. And then after I was done, every night while we were in Colorado, I made sure to set up all my battery chargers so that I could have fresh batteries in the morning whenever I start my day. And I did that. I had everything plugged in. It was, for my Lumix and for my Canon. You might know where I'm going with this. What was really strange is that the next day we began our journey from the Stanley Hotel to a ski resort. Because we were originally going to go snowboarding, but there were some issues with the weather and things happened, and we ended up doing snowmobiling instead. And during that whole journey and that whole adventure, it took us like 2 hours to get to the freaking resort. But during that time, I was trying to film, and I was trying to make different videos of our time stuck in this blizzard that we got stuck in. And what was crazy was that all of my batteries were dead. Like, literally, like, you can ask Daphne. She was there. She saw my frustration when, she was filming, and then she was like, oh, the battery died. I was like, that's really strange. That's a fresh battery. It should be totally fine. All right, let's pop another one in. Put that one in, and it was at a full, like, 4 bars, completely full. And I swear to God, in literally like less than a minute, while she's filming, it just shuts off. She's like, oh wait, hold on, stop. Like it stopped recording. And I was like, really? Why? Let me look at it. I looked at it and I was trying to turn it on. Nothing would happen. And then when I finally turned on, it said, change your battery or charge battery or whatever. And I was like, what the hell? That's so weird. Why would it do that? So I took the battery out, turned off the thing, did the whole thing, reset it, put it back in, did it. And then it showed that it had full bars. Like, it was a fully charged battery. So I was like, okay, well, things happen, I guess. I think it's a knockoff battery. It's not even a Canon one, so you can assume that, it's going to have problems. But it's really strange that two of them did it at the same time. So we continue, we do it. I was able to film a little bit, turn off the camera, set it to the side, and then I bring it back at another point, and it again just died. Now I have two dead batteries. I was like, okay, well, this is making me nervous. We haven't even arrived to our destination yet, where we're gonna go snowmobiling, and my camera's already dead. Both of my batteries are dead. So I was like, all right, well, I have a third battery in my backpack. So whenever we stopped to get gas or whatever, I got the battery out of my backpack, put it in full bars, and I kid you not, in the remaining time that we had between where we were and the ski resort, that battery died too. And it was very frustrating. And at that point, we had already discussed it and been like, could it actually have something to do with the hotel? I don't know. It seems like a coincidence, but also that's a very strange coincidence that all the batteries were dying. I don't know. It kind of made me a little bit nervous. I was like, I hope nothing's wrong with my camera. But luckily, I had 3 extra batteries for my Lumix, so then I basically stopped using the Canon and I started using the Lumix, and whenever we actually went out onto the snowmobiling ride, I was able to use the Lumix, and the battery pretty much lasted the whole time. And yeah, so if I were to really put what was the weirdest thing that happened, I'd have to say that. Because, I mean, literally, you can ask her, she will tell you, she was there and she saw my frustration. I was like, we haven't even gotten there yet, and all 3 of my backup batteries are all dead. When I charged them last night, that one Canon battery that I had in my backpack, that one I hadn't even touched the entire time. So that one should have been completely full. So very strange. Y'all are funny. Let's see. People were saying to stop bullying Austin in the chat. Is he even here? I doubt he's even here. Nah, he left. He has more important things to do. But anyway, so that was probably the weirdest thing. And then there are some other things. I don't think I go over it in the vlog that we put together. But there was a lot of other really strange things, like our bathroom. Okay, so if you want to do this research, you can. Just look up room 217 Stanley Hotel in Google, and you'll be able to hear the backstory on it. And basically, there was a housekeeper that worked at the hotel that at the time they were using gas for all their lights and for their candles and lamps and things of that sort, because when this happened, they didn't have electricity. So unfortunately, this housekeeper did not realize that there was a gas leak, and she went to go turn on a lamp or light a lamp, and unfortunately, there was an explosion. She lived, but maintained a lot of injury. And since then, there's been a lot of really weird activity from that room. And I guess the story goes that housekeeper, when she passed at the age of 92. Or something I believe she was 92. She had worked all the way up to 92 years of age at this hotel. She worked there her entire life. After the accident, from what I understand, the owners gave her, full reign to keep her job, to stay there. They helped her with all her accommodations and all those things because of that accident. And so yeah, she stayed there. And I guess the saying is that if you die while servicing the Stanley Hotel in whatever capacity, you don't leave the Stanley Hotel even in the afterlife, which is such a spooky thought. So the idea is that this housekeeper stayed behind at the Stanley Hotel and just does her daily duties even in the afterlife. The story goes, and you can look this up, you can do all your research and do all of that. The story goes that sometimes people who stay in that room will leave their room and they'll come back and they'll notice that the bed has been remade. They'll find their clothes, folded and packed away, or they'll find certain things a little bit more tidy than when they had left. And if no one came by to actually service that room, then the idea is that she sticks around and helps maintain maintain the cleanliness of the room and keep it tidy for you. Whenever we went on the ghost tour, which we weren't allowed to record or anything like that, while we were at the ghost tour, the tour guide had mentioned that she actually has different, I guess, opinions over like who stays in the room. She has she does not find unmarried couples staying in that room very favorable. She doesn't like it, apparently. She I guess she's very old fashioned. Anytime that there's a couple that stays in that room that aren't married, she has been known to disrupt them in their sleep, to push them apart. You know, if they're staying in the same, when they're staying in the same bed, to push them apart while they're sleeping, to give the male or the guy or whoever's there usually has really, really awful and horrible nightmares and night terrors whenever they stay in that room. Apparently, people have reported that their suitcases had been packed and left outside of the door after they left for the day to come back, and all these other things. So that was interesting. That was interesting to find out, because as Daphne and I were staying in there, I was like, well, you know, hopefully she doesn't give us too hard of a time. But at the same time, I was kind of like, you know what? You know, if she has something to say, go ahead and say it. I'll be here. I'm not too concerned. And fortunately, nothing crazy happened. Although I will say that we had a weird instance with the bathroom during a certain point where I wasn't doing the video yet. I think I was setting up for the video. Daphne was working on the computer, and I was at the desk while she was on the bed, and our bathroom door just opened by itself, which doesn't really mean anything considering it's an old hotel with old doors and old things and stuff like that. So it opened, it made a noise, it freaked Daphne out, and it made me a little curious. Because as we're just sitting there, the door just opened. So we go and look at it, and we're just like looking at each other and being like, that's weird. But don't worry, I'll go and close the door. So I get up and I go to close the door, and as I'm closing the door, I felt a slight resistance as I was attempting to close it, which again doesn't really mean anything. I don't think the door had any springs or anything on it or whatever, but I felt a little resistance, and then when I let go of the handle, the door opened again. And I was like, okay, that's strange. I pulled it again, and then it kind of, you know, I felt a lot of resistance, a lot of force behind it, and then I let go, and it would open again, which was really strange because actually I go back on what I just said. There were no springs. You know, after looking at the hinges on the door, I was like, why is this thing like being forced to open? It's really strange. I don't remember it being like that when we first walked in and when we first inspected and looked at the room. It's really strange. So Daphne was looking at me. She's like, what are you doing? Like, the door was making this really bad squeak. It was like squealing as I was pulling on it. So she was getting annoyed that I was opening and closing it. And I was like, I don't want to say it because I don't want to freak you out, but the door is being strange. So ultimately, with more force than before, I closed the door, I left it be, and whatever. The next morning, I told her, because again, I didn't want to freak her out. I told her, I was like, hey, last night when I was doing that, this is why I was opening and closing the door so much. I felt like it was being pulled open, which is, you know, really strange. It's most likely a coincidence. I'm not going to give it too much attention, but she freaked out because she was like, oh my God, you felt that too? Because whenever I was roaming around the hotel taking videos and whatnot, she's like, she had gone to the bathroom, and when she had opened the door, or like whenever she went into the bathroom, she was like, there was no issue opening the door, but when she was leaving, she said that it was also tugging on the door, and she didn't think anything of it, but it also kind of was weird to her. So it was weird that we both had the same thought. And the next morning, as we're packing, getting ready to leave, I checked the door again, and there was no resistance at all. Literally, you could just open and close it with no issue. Even if I were to let go of the handle, it wouldn't move on its own the way that it had been doing before, or like the night before. So that's when I decided, it's like, hey, we're leaving. I'm going to tell you about like why I was doing that to the door last night. And that's when she was like, oh my God, I had the same thing happen. Very strange. I don't want I don't think it was really anything too crazy to talk about. It's definitely nothing in comparison to the paranormal live stream that I'm planning with Austin in the future. That is where all the real bad shit occurred. But yeah, so that was fun. Something neat. Batteries all died. I was afraid for the health of my camera. The bathroom door seemed to not like us a whole lot. But yeah, it was really cool. Not a whole lot of paranormal activity, but the place was beautiful. Estes Park, Colorado is absolutely gorgeous. It snowed while we were there. It was so pretty. And yeah, it was a very strange experience because it looks like we're getting on an hour now. But it was a very strange experience because I actually have a pretty decent history with The Shining. I first watched The Shining when I was in 6th grade, which was a mistake, by the way. I really liked watching horror movies growing up with my sister and my cousins and my dad and like a lot of other people in my family really who were older than me liked watching horror movies. So I kind of got used to it, and I was like, whatever, I'm not scared. Went to Blockbuster, which yes was a thing when I was in 6th grade. Went to Blockbuster. I saw the cover for The Shining, and I didn't know anything about it. I don't know what was wrong with me. At how old was I? Like 13? No, I was like 10 or 11. I don't know what was wrong with me. I saw the cover. I had no idea what the movie was about. I had no like introduction to it. I was like, I see this cover of this man with his face, poking through. I want to watch a scary movie tonight. It'll be really fun. And yeah, I picked it. My dad let me pick it for some reason. The guy behind the counter just let it happen. That night, I went to watch the movie, and literally not even halfway through the movie, I couldn't continue. I had to turn on all the lights. My dog, Rocky, I had a little dog. His name was Rocky. Very, very creative. I was literally like 8 years old when I named him. Give me a break. I had a little dog. His name was Rocky, and he was there with me, and I freaked out. And I grabbed my dog, and I was just like, I don't like this movie. I turned on all the lights, upstairs in my room, in like the little game room or whatever. And I was like, I don't know what to do. I can't just go onto YouTube, and because YouTube didn't exist back then. I can't just go onto YouTube and just be like, I'm gonna look at funny things. I was like, oh no. I probably played like a video game or something afterwards, but I was up really late because it freaked me out. Anyway, that was really scary. That movie actually super freaked me out, which was kind of new to me at that age because I had like watched a lot of like slasher movies, Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th, Halloween, all those classics. And yeah, I was like, this movie will be whatever. It freaked me out. And then later on in my college years, I kind of talked about this before. I studied film and production in Santa Monica, and one of the courses I took over like critical studies of film, one of the courses I took followed the entire filmography of Stanley Kubrick, who made The Shining back in the 70s, or was it the 80s? I think it was 70s. No, it was the 80s, and he made the movie. So getting to revisit the movie in a more like academic sense was really awesome. Even though that's not where, like, it wasn't filmed at the Stanley Hotel, but getting to like understand like the history behind it and what inspired it made me do more research on Stephen King, and give me like a full I guess appreciation for it. So getting to stay at the actual hotel that inspired that story was super cool. It wasn't really like a bucket list thing. It's not like I grew up being like, one day I want to visit that hotel, but having the opportunity to do it was really cool. It was really, really cool. Let's see. But yeah. Let's see. The Basic actually wants to know, did I finish school? I did not. I actually stopped my film degree to go on tour with Never Shout Never, with water parks on the Never Shout Never tour. But let's see. I should be editing a horror movie for a class right now, says Spencer. Ooh, that's awesome. If you're gonna make a horror movie, send it to me. Tweet me a link. That'd be really cool to check out. But anyway, so not only that, but also Dumb and Dumber, iconic classic movie. I totally forgot that little trivia fact that it had been filmed at the Stanley Hotel. So whenever I was reminded of it, when I was at the Stanley, I was like, oh my God, I completely forgot that Jim Carrey stayed in this room when he was filming Dumb and Dumber. That's so insane. So that was really cool. It was just a fun experience overall. It was really something else. A lot of people are talking about Coraline. I love that movie. I can't say that it scared me very much, but I really like the story. And yeah. Okay, I need to start wrapping up stuff. So that was some stuff with the Stanley Hotel. Super cool, super fun trip to Colorado. I can't wait to go back, which I do have plans on going back. I'll take a quick break from my stories to answer your questions. I'll see what's going on in the chat, and then I'm going to wrap up with some just plans that I have for 2019. Let's see. Jennifer's Body. Someone said it scared the living shit out of me. I don't know what you're referring to. Someone says they hate claymation. What? Do you hate yourself? Why would you hate claymation? That's such a good medium. That's such a cool style for movies. Nightmare Before Christmas, Coraline. What else? Was what is it? Frankenweenie or whatever was that in claymation? Corpse Bride. What are you talking about? I love that. Wallace and Gromit. Let's see. Someone says, have you ever thought about... Angelina says, have you ever thought about doing a mystery print bundle? I have not, but that could be cool. Let's see. The only reason Coraline scared me was because I was 6. Okay, Sydney, that's fair. I appreciate that. JC wants to know, am I going to be at the VIP for the 1OK Rock Tour? I'm not sure. I might be helping out every now and then, but usually during VIP, I'm probably either in the green room or on the bus doing edits, so we will see. Did you go... Okay. Ashire, I hope I say that right. Ashire, did you go to the concert hall and learn about Lily? Yes, we did. On the Ghost Tour, we went to the concert hall. We learned the history of the concert hall and learned a lot about the original owners of the Stanley Hotel. And we learned about Lily. We learned about, oh my goodness, what was his name? Was his name like Rufus? We learned about Michael and... his name Billy, I believe his name was. We learned about a lot of the different people that used to go to the concert hall. Really, really cool. Oh, look, Dollar Tree's here. What's up? Anna Gomez wants to know, who is my role model? That's a big question. I don't know. I am my own role model. I strive to be me every day. and I only say that because being me is the easiest thing to be, so there you go. Low expectations, get to over-deliver every single day. Let's see. But anyway, y'all are saying a lot in the group chat. Not too many questions this time, but that's okay. Let's see. We are a little over the 1 hour mark. Let's move on. Workshops. Someone wanted me to bring up the workshops, and I said I was going to talk about workshops. Okay, so to do a recap of my very first workshop that I did last Saturday, that was super, super fun. I guess it's as easy as that. I had a lot of fun. I had like a handful of people come out to sit down with me to talk about photography, to talk about the very fundamentals and the very basics of photography. And yeah, we had a really, really good time. I think we sat there for about 2 hours, going back and forth. It was a really good discussion, and is very strange. I've said this before. I don't know where I've said it. I think I say it like quite often, but before I was a photographer full time, I used to be a trainer at Apple. And so facilitating events and workshops and different training, events and things of that sort is something that I have a lot of experience in. And it's something that I really, really enjoyed doing whenever I worked there. So being able to bring together some people who are interested in learning more about photography and getting to share that knowledge and that information that I've gained over the last few years with them was really natural, it seemed, and it was a lot of fun. I guess to say the least, I am really interested on doing more of them. There is a lot of really good questions, a lot of like on the spot, like discussions. And yeah, if you went to the workshop and if you're here, just thank you very much for coming. Super fun. I have another workshop coming up on Saturday. This one is less about the fundamentals and the basics of photography, more so about portrait photography, like more specifically. Man, I cannot talk tonight. I don't know what the deal is, but it focuses more on portrait photography, and I'm really excited about it. It's a little bit more involved because there's some slight higher level concepts to keep in mind whenever you're taking portraits, and I'm very interested to see how it turns out. It'll be interesting, but. I really like sharing. I really like sharing information, and I really like teaching. I feel like it's something that comes natural, and for a lot of people who are interested and looking to learn about these concepts and about these different aspects of photography, or if you're just wanting to get into photography in general, then I'd love to set something up where I can share that information more, whether that's in these live streams in the future or whether that's in different videos that I can upload to my channel where it's like, hey, this is a video about how I edit versus, how to edit versus like here is, a behind the scenes look at how I do portraits or how I do, concert photography or things of that sort. I don't know. I've also been asked by a lot of people in my email, on Twitter, in response to my Houston workshops. People have been asking, can you host any workshops online? Because I have people, who can't come to Houston, people across the country that want to participate but don't have access. I had people in London reach out being like, hey, I live across the world. I can't make it, but I want to learn. And, I want to get into photography. I had someone in Australia ask the same thing. So that might happen in the future. I still have to go over a lot of the logistics of putting something like that together. But I mean, if you're interested, please let me know. The more vocal you are about it, the more that I'll see. Oh, wait, hold on. Oh, Daphne just joined us. Hi, Daph. Thank you for joining us. I saw her photo. It's very small because I have the window kind of small on my monitor, and I saw it and I was just like, oh, complete distraction. Thanks, Daph. What I was getting at, rest in peace your ears. What I was getting at was I want to do that. I'll figure out a way to kind of teach you guys some little tips and tricks here. I plan on doing that more with my channel. What would be really helpful from you guys to me is whenever I end this live stream, I don't know if you can comment on the video right now or if you can only participate in the chat, but if you can comment, then I'm going to ask you to. But if not, don't worry about it. Wait until I end the video. Wait until it processes and uploads to YouTube. But in the comments, could you let me know what you're interested in? Let me know if you want different tips and tricks, if you like these live streams more, if you want any sort of online classes where we can set up online workshops, or I've had a lot of people ask hey, come do a workshop in Chicago or come do a workshop in LA or whatever. Realistically, guys, there would be so much involved with that, with airfare and lodging and the cost of the time to do all of that and set it up and getting a studio and getting a space to put that stuff together. I would realistically need a good amount of pre-sale tickets made so that I could even justify flying out and not lose all of my money in doing so. I would love to go out and meet you guys in Detroit, Chicago, Boston, a lot of the other places that I've heard. But realistically, like I said, I can't risk going over there. And even though you really, really want to learn and meet and do something, if I only have 2 people sitting next to me, I'm going to lose all my money through plane tickets and hotel rooms. So can't really do that. But online workshop seems like it could be a viable option. So let me know if you're interested in that. In addition to that, let's see, what else was I going to go over? In addition to that, if there's anything else you want to see in future live streams, please let me know in the comments after this video uploads. I do read those. I'm going to go through and see what the feedback is, and I'll adjust accordingly. In addition to that, I really like live streaming. I've mentioned this in the past. This is super fun. I like getting to interact with you guys. I like to share thoughts and share, whatever it is that I can through this medium. If you've seen my live streams before, you know that. But I would like to do it on a more consistent basis because there's a lot of different things that I could go over, whether that's more like photography related things, whether that's more like event related things, if there's special occasions that I want to come and talk about with you all, then I'll be able to do that. And it's so easy because I have this whole setup. So it's so easy. Sounded like there was a cat in my room. It's so easy to put this together, so I want to do it more often. I'm trying to decide what would be a good amount of live streaming per month so as not to overwhelm you guys. Like, hey, I'm going live. Hey, I'm going live again. Yo, another live stream. But at the same time, I want to be a little bit more consistent with it. I really like doing it. I'm thinking maybe like twice a month. Does that sound fair? I feel like that sounds fair. Like twice a month, whatever's going on in that time period, can talk about with you guys. If it's more specific to like tips and tricks, whether it's photography related, videography related, whatever, I don't know. Someone says once a week. That there's no way. I'd be such a burden on everyone. Twice a month seems fair. Every other week, yeah. That's kind of what I meant by twice a month. So like, let's say today's Thursday. I'll skip next Thursday, but in 2 Thursdays from now, I'll do another live stream and I'll have a different topic or I'll have a different thing that I'm doing. In addition to it, I love having these conversations with you guys, but once I figure out how to share my screen, I swear to God, I'm not out of touch with this technology. I can figure it out. I sound like Otto. If I can share my screen, I can do a live edit with you guys. I can do other things. Like I've had ideas where I could critique my old photography. I could critique my old music videos. I could, do, someone suggested doing editing fan photos or, critiquing or doing anything like that. I'd love to. That sounds like a lot of fun. And I think like doing it every other week would give me a good amount of structure to be able to kind of do something like that. Yeah. So what do you guys think? The chat's going by pretty quick. So the chat's going by pretty quick. It's hard to get an idea. Megan says to bring guests on. I do have one planned guest. If you were here earlier in the chat, you'll know exactly who that is and what that's going to be about. But I'd love to bring guests on. I don't know what we would talk about. We're not going to talk about fan fiction, that's for sure. But I don't know. We'll see. It could go in a lot of different ways. This is really fun. The setup is already here. If I do it every other week, I feel like that's something that it could be pretty sustainable, for both me and for you guys to not be so overwhelmed. But yeah, please, if you left it in the chat, I may not have seen it. Leave a comment with how often you want live streams, what you want to see in live streams, different things you want to see on the channel. And I'm going to do my best to try and put that stuff out there because it's fun. And that's realistically what this whole thing is about. That's why I'm doing this, because it's a lot of fun. What else? I think that's it. That's like my closing. Those are my closing thoughts. We are now moving closer to the 90-minute zone. We're exactly at 1 hour and 24 minutes. So 6 minutes on the clock. Speed Q&A. I won't do ASMR this time, but we will look into these comments. Leave a question. Now's your time to talk with me in the chat. Okay. Jordan wants to know, can we bring professional cameras into venues at the 1OK Rock Tour? That's not up to me. I don't know. For the most part, oh, I have like a thing sticking up. What is that? Is that back here? Oh, geez. How come no one told me? Where was I? That's up to the venues. Some venues allow cameras that don't have interchangeable lenses. Some don't even allow cameras at all. That I'm not sure, but call the venue that it's going to be at and ask them first, because it's not up to the bands. Okay. Any photos of Dallin and Jeff together? Let's see. Yeah, yeah, there's a photo of Dallin and Jeff together. It was posted. It was the end of tour photo with all of the bands together, including Dwayne, including Super Whatever. Yeah, I got a photo of him with everyone. Let's see. Araceli, or Araceli, if it's pronounced that way. Will you ever release merch? In my that's funny, because I saw someone else mention this in the chat. In my Q&A video, I mentioned John Socks. I mentioned that because of how ridiculous that concept is to me, and I got a lot of DMs of people being like, please make John Socks. If you don't do it, I will. And I was like, okay, this is a thing, I guess. I don't know when socks were such a hot merch item. I joked about it in the Q&A saying once I hit 10,000 subscribers, then I'll release some John merch. I can't guarantee there'll be socks. Someone says jocks. I hate that. Do not call them that. That sounds completely off. Yeah. You guys help me get to 10K. I'll reward you with some John socks. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. I like the idea of putting a hoodie together. That'd be super cool. If not for you guys, at least for myself. I want to make myself a nice hoodie. Jocks. Ew, that's disgusting. Anna wants to know what my favorite ice cream is. My favorite ice cream is probably French vanilla. It's not vanilla, but it's very close. It's very close to vanilla, and I don't care. Just like in the Q&A video about the double stuffed Oreos, I don't care if it's basic. You know, try and roast me and flame me on my taste for one of the best flavors and the most universally loved flavors to exist in ice cream, which is vanilla. Bring it on. Let's see. Do you ever check indirects on Twitter? I don't know if I should answer that. Mainly because I don't want to give anyone passes for indirects, because typically indirects can be pretty bad to look at. Because if someone's talking about you and not tagging you in it, there's probably a reason for it. So I don't always check it, and for the most part, it's kind of hard to check it because my name is so common. But yeah, not always. Let's see. Oh, great. We have the egg again. Welcome back, egg. Let's see. Ooh, the basic Ashley wants to know best wing sauce. That's a good question. No one's ever asked me that. Spicy lemon pepper. Oh, God. Actually, you know what? I'm going to end this in a couple of minutes. I'm going to go get wings right now. Pluckers has been my favorite wing joint lately. If you've ever been, it's so good. It's actually, I think, only available in Texas, if not only available in like Houston and Austin. So I don't know. But spicy lemon pepper is so good. I spend all my money on wings. Like, dear Lord. Wingstop is also a freaking classic. Let's see. Wait, hold on. Oh God, Daphne, no. Don't do that. Oh God, that's so bad. I completely lost my train of thought because of you. Again, Daphne, you're hijacking my chat. Wings. I'm probably gonna go get it. I can't imagine how much money I've spent at Wingstop. I literally eat wings maybe like 3 or 4 times a week, and most of the time it's at Wingstop. Wingstop and Starbucks. I swear to God. And Target recently. I've been doing a lot of different renovations to my place, and I've been spending a lot of money at Target, specifically on things in my bathroom. But Wingstop and Starbucks are the reason why I'm broke all the time. Every day, Starbucks. Every night, wings. Wingstop and Starbucks. I swear to God, it's gonna make me go broke. And wings are so expensive. Like, geez. If you get like 10 wings or whatever, it's already like $13, not including a $5 basket of fries and not including like another $3 for a drink. And then you have to have like $1 for ranch or $1 for, mix match sauces, another 50 cents for celery or whatever. That stuff adds up, but I'm addicted and they know it. So they're going to milk me for all I'm worth. Okay. Yuli wants to know, how do you stay fit? By drinking nothing but coffee and eating wings. Someone goes, gross. Do you know any Spanish? Yes. Mad all the time. Nah, broke all the time. Like the water park song. Very good. JC wants to know my favorite cereal. JC, if you want to know my favorite cereal, go watch my Q&A video. It's the very last video I uploaded. I answer that question specifically. Favorite Harry Potter movie? Should I just include this in my bio? I answer this every live stream. Favorite Harry Potter movie is probably Half-Blood Prince, or Prisoner of Azkaban, or Goblet of Fire. But it's probably in that order. Prisoner of Azkaban it was like the first departure from the original Chris Columbus movies. That it was like a new, fresh, more modern, more I guess, look at the actual lives of these teenagers as opposed to the first 2 movies, which was more about the school and the wizarding world. Prisoner of Azkaban was really cool at going into like them as teenagers and following them. It was really cool. Goblet of Fire was really cool because the whole concept of the Triwizard Tournament was really awesome to see. All the different settings. There was a lot of really intricate details. I cry every time that Cedric is killed, not because I care about Cedric, but because that scene with his dad, whenever the tournament ends and his dad is cheering on, and then he goes and like sees that his son is dead. Nah, fuck that. It's too much. I can't handle it. It was really hard watching that scene with Daphne for the first time because I made sure to sit behind her so that she couldn't see me watching it. And then Half-Blood Prince is just a very dark. David Yates, I think that was his first movie directed. I had to go and check, but I think that was David Yates' first movie for the Harry Potter franchise, and it was just so dark and so just like bleak and just dramatic. I don't know. It was the first time, in my opinion, that was just like a really good look at the actual depth of this whole, situation, the war that was going on in the story, as opposed to the other movies that were a little bit more lighter, in my opinion. Let's see. What else? I can't just pick one, obviously. Any video projects in the work? I literally have maybe... If I look at my list, I have 11 different videos that I have to work on. It's happening all the time, and there's so many videos that I do behind the scenes, guys, that you may never even see. It's ridiculous. Let's see. Any video projects? Oh, same question. I'm really interested in making a video based off of like portraiture and working with like a model and working with more glamour style photography, whether it's outdoors and natural light in a very specific scene or whether it's indoors, studio environment, whatnot. I really enjoy doing that. I've done photos for water parks. I've done photos for other bands in studio for promos or even for magazine covers or features or things of that sort. And I really enjoy doing it. Outside of like the band promo thing, I really like experimenting with models and with portraiture. because it just literally I get to flex a different muscle of photography that I don't normally get to do when I'm on tour. So, well, that was weird. So I might make a video on that because I want to. Although I feel like maybe not a lot of people are interested in model work. Whenever I post anything model related, I don't get a whole lot of love, even though I put a lot of work into it. But that's fair. I feel like you've come to expect a lot of music related things. So, I'll try and mix it in there a little bit here and there. Let's see. Why do you have harsh and soft light in the same room? What are you talking about? Like what? What's so harsh? I feel like everything is so soft. I specifically made it so that things are soft. East Coasters staying up late. Yeah, it's like 10:30 over there. Let's see. Thank you, Dollar Tree and Egg. Y'all always pull through. Giovanna wants to know how I'm doing. I'm doing well. It's getting a little hot in here. I need to turn on the air. Let's see. All right, I'm 5 minutes over. I feel like I should go ahead and end this. I'm getting really hungry. I don't think I've eaten yet today, so I'm probably gonna get some extra wings this time. We'll do 5 more minutes. Let's see. It is 10:30. Alexa has school in the morning, I'm assuming. Get to bed, Alexa. Get off the computer. This is just a distraction. This is going to keep you up late at night. You're not going to get your full 8 hours. You're not going to achieve REM sleep. You're going to be groggy in the morning. Don't be like me. Spencer wants me to eat. I will eat. I'll eat good. No, I haven't eaten all day. I've been working. And whenever I'm working, I forget that I need to do things like eat or go to the bathroom. Good night, Anthony. GoFundMe for John to stop being broke. All right, you heard it here first. There's gonna be a GoFundMe, so I can stop being broke. First thing I'm gonna buy. Let's see. What's the first thing I'm gonna buy? I already have camera gear. I need a new computer. I need a new car. I would love those new things. I would strictly do that so that I don't have to spend money on a computer or car, so that I could spend the $2,000 to $5,000 on nothing but wings and coffee. Let's see, and maybe another tattoo. I really want to get a new tattoo. Well, we'll see. Maybe I'll get my ears pierced. I think I'm going through a crisis, guys. I want to do something drastic. Okay. Nikki says it's 4:35 a.m. Acknowledge it. Nikki, how is it 4:35 a.m. already? Actually, it is getting really hot. I'm going to put my hair up. Sorry if this looks very strange. Let's see. I know y'all told me not to do this because I'll go bald, or at least my hairline will recede even more than it already started to. But either way, I'm still gonna do it because it's hot, and I'm about to go and run some errands. So let's see. Get your ears pierced. Have you ever had any facial piercings? No facial piercings. I've just had my ears done. Do you like shooting indoors or outdoors more? I like them differently. Shooting outdoors is very laid back, though it can be tricky being... Oh, wait 1 second. There we go. It can be tricky to maintain like creative consistency if you're outside, because you have to find different locations and different lighting and things of that sort. But shooting indoors is really fun because you get to have more controlled lighting, and it's a totally different look. I might be doing a studio shoot soon with a friend of mine who likes to model like on the side, and yeah, maybe I'll share that with everyone. Let's see. Do you plan to visit Mexico one day? Sure. I've been to Mexico a couple of times. I would like to go again because the food is so good. Bailey says it's only 9:37 in Texas. Hey, it's also 9:37 here too, because I'm also in Texas. Do you take your camera everywhere with you, like on short errands? I do not. If I'm doing something like on vacation, I will, because something fun or unique might happen, in like new areas and new surroundings, I'll take a camera with me pretty much. But for general day to day, nah. Hi Haley. Favorite lens for concert photography? I'll probably say my favorite lens that I own is my 20mm. It's a Sigma art lens. Very sharp, very fast. I like that one a lot. Anna wants to know if I've seen the new Spider-Man movie. I have not seen it, and I blame Daphne on it, because every time that we plan on going to see it, something happens, and we don't get to go. I honestly might just go watch it by myself if it's even in theaters now. But, yeah. Let's see. What else? Yo, I'll be in Texas tomorrow. I'm ditching school for it. What are you ditching school for? Why are you coming to Texas tomorrow? Spider-Verse. Yep, that's the one I'm talking about. Let's see. Oh, Ashley, thank you for reminding me. When are you announcing the winner for the concert photography class? Okay. I'm going to get in real close for this one. Because I feel really bad about it. I feel really bad about it. But I honestly might cancel the concert photography class. I don't know yet. It's not said and done. I got a call from the studio manager. And they informed me that, unfortunately, the other co-owner manager of the studio double booked for that day. So, y'all are funny. So, I was talking to them about possibly postponing it to, like, the following day or something to that effect. But something new came up. I've been talking to someone about a very cool, very intense project that I might be working on soon, and that would require me going to LA. So if I go to LA, I won't be able to do the workshop because it would have to happen by next week. But it might not happen, but we'll see. So me possibly taking this opportunity to do this really cool project, but also the fact that I might have to reschedule the workshop anyway, I might have to postpone it to another date. I don't know yet. Yes, thanks for all the respect. I appreciate it. I might have to postpone it, but take this as just, a maybe right now. As of right now, the plans are to continue with it, but I'll make an announcement if I have to cancel it. And if you're going, you'll obviously get refunded. I'm sorry. If you're waiting for the winner, then, oh no, it's doing the thing again. If you're waiting for the winner, hang in there. I think I have someone picked out, but we'll see. Thank you for your understanding. But Dollar Tree is right. I gotta do what I gotta do. So if I had to cancel it, I had to cancel it. I'm sorry, guys, but we'll see. I don't know yet. Nothing's set in stone. I'm weighing all my options as I normally do. What else? I love this chat is always split right down the middle on people who either enjoy the very soft spoken word version, concept, thing that I do, or they absolutely hate it and everyone leaves all at once. I think like 20 people left, but either way, it's late. I'm 13 minutes over. I'm actually 43 minutes over, but who's counting? JSMR. I love that. I'm taking that. JSMR. Yeah, see? I have people, oh my God, I love it. I hate it. John, no. Dear God, I'm crying. My ears, so much cringe. Yeah, whatever. I just covered my ears. That's funny. Jordan says I can stay. Okay, I swear to God. 5 more minutes, and then I am hanging up. I'm gonna do it. 5 more minutes. Go. What else? Let's see. Mainly because, yeah, I have time. Can y'all hear my stomach growling? Someone says that they rage inside whenever I do ASMR. That's funny. I really don't know anything about ASMR. I'm not knocking it and I'm not belittling it. I just don't understand it. I haven't done my research, like why people have a thing for it. Like, I from what I understand, it stimulates your senses in a very specific way. But yeah, I don't know. What else? What else am I missing? Why do you use day mode? Is night mode not good enough? Zari, what are you talking about? Day mode. Wait, I don't know what you're referring to. John, don't eat. We want to starve you, says Aiden. Thank you very much. Obviously, I could go on a diet. Apparently, real deal. I need to go back to the gym. Now it makes some people angry. Yeah, whatever. You'll get over it. Day mode is so much better. Oh, on Twitter. What are you talking about? I have night mode on Twitter right now. Let's see. I have night mode on Twitter right now, and I'm going to go and look at my most recent mention. Let's see. So Finn says, what if you... I totally got distracted. The whole purpose of this was to show you that I actually use night mode. I don't know where y'all are getting this from. Finn says, what if you make a Discord server for people interested in photography? It helped the community connect a lot. I don't really use Discord, but I know a few people who can help you set it up. Finn, that's very generous and very kind of you. Thank you very much for... Oh, Travis just messaged me. That's really nice. I appreciate you lending a hand. Oh no! Oh man. Okay. Can y'all hear me? I can see that there's still audio. There's just no there's no video. Oh man. Oh, this is very frustrating. Guys, I swear to God, I'm not even kidding even a little bit, and I'm not saying this for dramatic effect. I literally put in a fresh battery right before I started this. I had it charging ever since I made the tweet earlier. When I popped it in, it was a full battery. It should not die within in under 2 hours. I've done all my live streams on the same camera, on the same battery. I think my batteries are now possessed. I think they're haunted. I think my camera's haunted. We're going to switch this up. Hold on. I can't even take myself seriously. Okay. Hello there, guys. Thank you for joining me tonight. We are going to be talking about ghosts and how bullshit they are for killing all my batteries. Batteries are really expensive. I don't want to have to buy new ones, but it looks like I might have to. If I buy new batteries, and if they continue to die on me like this, then I'm going to have to replace the whole damn camera. And do you think that Canon's going to accept an exchange due to possession? I don't know. I don't think so. I'm inclined to say no, but what are you going to do? Leave your thoughts in the comments on how I should go about getting my camera exercised. Let's see. Sarah called me goofy. Thank you very much. Kiwi loves this podcast. So here's the thing. I hate this. This is so awful. I can't hear myself because I took off my headphones. I can't see myself because my camera died. And I'm so self-conscious about my voice that I'm going to stop this in the next 47 seconds. So, hey guys, thanks for sticking around, even when we lost video. Do me a huge favor. If you can leave a comment, like I mentioned earlier, strictly for the sake of letting me know what you want to see from future live streams, how often you would want to join and participate in a live stream, and other videos that you'd like to see on this channel. It can mostly be photography related. That's pretty much what I know most about. So I'd imagine it'd be about those kinds of things. So no mukbang videos. You hear me? No mukbang videos. But yeah, let me know what you think. And as always, thank you so much for hanging out and talking about this stuff with me. Thank you for listening to me rant. Thank you for hearing me vent and ramble about some things. Yeah, I'm gonna go now and I'm gonna edit a new video. Hopefully it's a video that you guys want to see. If you haven't already, which I would be very surprised if literally any 111 of you right now listening, if you're not subscribed, please subscribe already. Leave a comment, like this. I don't really know the whole ins and outs of YouTube, but apparently those things are important and they help, so please do that. And yeah, thank you again for joining. You don't have to click on the bell. If you want to, you can. It's whatever. If you're interested in seeing my stuff, and if you're involved and are looking for it, you'll see whenever I'm live. But okay, thank you very much, guys. I'm gonna go eat wings and probably get another Starbucks. Good night, and I'll talk to you again soon. All right, bye.